Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Yes, I know I said I wasn't going to be able to do a daily reading today, but then I realized it's the 12/12 portal. So, of course, I'm going to find the time to come on here and do this video for you guys today. I love and appreciate you all so very, very much. I still have new subscribers coming in, and I appreciate you guys. I want you to feel welcome. And I appreciate everyone who is already subscribed and who follows this channel. I appreciate all of your support, all of your beautiful messages, and all of the beautiful energy that you guys are bringing in. It's so incredible. And so I just want to thank each and every one of you for what you contribute to this channel, because it means so very, very much. And yes, without further ado, today is the 12/12 portal. And today is also Saturday, so it's ruled by the heart chakra, and today is guided by endlessness. And the galactic signature of the day today is the white spectral mirror energy. And so this is really interesting. The white mirror energy, we encounter quite a bit on here. And so we may be, those of you who have followed these daily readings for a while, may be familiar with that energy. It's the energy of reflection, endlessness, and order. And it's about understanding that we see the world through the lens of our own perception. Everything that we see, everything that we understand and we witness is filtered through our own lens, through our own, I don't necessarily like to use the word bias, but kind of through the word bias. And there's a quote here that I read sometimes because I really love it. And it says, "The universe is a divine ink blot. We are the source of meaning of this ink blot. The universe is very malleable, and the way that we interpret this universe has a creative potency on how this universe manifests." And so this is the idea, and this is where we talk about collective consciousness, right? Each of us has our own perception, our own lens through which we view the universe, and the universe responds to that and creates a reality that fits the narrative that we are internally speaking. And so there are many, many different perceptions, and thus many, many different realities and different versions of reality that exist within this multiverse because of all of the different perceptions. And so on these white mirror days, what we want to do is we want to really polish that lens of our own perception as much as possible so that we are seeing as clearly as possible. We talk about how there are a lot of different versions of truth, right? Because of all of these different perspectives. Like, truth is very much like beauty in the eye of the beholder. And we must respect all truths because they are true for that person and their own personal reality. Like, a reality is created out of that truth, and that reality is real, right? Just as real as ours is. But there's also, and I had a conversation with somebody, a friend of mine, and it was really interesting, and he brought up a really interesting perspective, which is that at the source of it all, there is ultimate truth. And so that's where we polish that lens so we can get closer and closer to that ultimate truth. However, it is the perception of each and every one of us that creates our collective reality. And so we want to understand, as more and more of us begin to clean that lens of our perception so we see more and more of absolute truth, we collectively move more toward absolute truth. And so that's a really important thing to keep in mind. Now, this day, when we do have the spectral tone, this is all about dissolving, releasing, and liberation. And so we're really being asked to allow our old perceptions, our old, I don't want to use the word prejudices, but our own, anything that is standing between us and that ultimate truth, that understanding and connection with ultimate truth, we want to allow the things coming into our perception today to be dissolved so that we can move closer and closer to that ultimate truth. What belief systems, right? What traumas, I don't want to use the word prejudices, but what can we allow to dissolve to get us closer and closer to that ultimate truth? I guess that's the only way we really have to say it today. And it's really interesting that the astrology pairs up with this. I'm going to read the affirmation for today, and then I'm going to get into the astrology. So the affirmation for today is, "I dissolve in order to reflect, releasing order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the spectral tone of liberation. I am guided by my own power doubled." And when we talk about liberation, this is liberation from our own from the maze of our own minds and sort of the way that that is reflected outwards into our reality, the maze of our own perceptions, and really going to a deeper level of dissolving and liberating ourselves from the perceptions that do not serve us any longer. And we can see this really fitting in with the astrology as we have the lineup for the solar eclipse coming up. And we really want to pay attention to these energies, because what we're learning in the days leading up, in the weeks and days leading up to events like this, we can get so much more out of the experience of the energies when they are at that climax point, if we've been paying attention up until this point. And so we have the Sun and Mercury coming closer into conjunction. And so this is our mind and our consciousness, right? So it's like the ego mind, very much our perceptions, our beliefs, especially in the sign of Sagittarius. So we can really examine those as they come into conjunction with the South Node, right? And so this is the past energy. What belief systems, what ideologies, what morals, what ethics, what values are no longer in alignment? What are we carrying with us from our past in this lifetime, from past lifetimes, that we don't necessarily resonate with anymore on a deeper level, that we're ready to release and we're ready to let go of? And we're really being called by that square to Neptune to step into that higher consciousness, to look from that higher spiritual point of view, and also to pay attention to these collective energies that we were talking about as well. Neptune is the energy of the collective. So we're really being called to take that higher standpoint. And Neptune is known as the great dissolver. So Neptune is really facilitating this spectral tone of dissolving, allowing all that is no longer us to dissolve, allowing the ego to dissolve to a deeper and deeper level, so that we are ready to step more firmly into the new. It's releasing the old and stepping into the new, with the really heavy emphasis on that stepping into the new as we move toward the solar eclipse. We also have the moon conjunct Venus today, and the moon is still in Scorpio. I'm going to double fact check myself. Yes, the moon is still in Scorpio today. Of course it is, if it's conjunct Venus. So with this conjunction, we're very much, we have partnerships, we have love, we have relationships on our mind, especially when we have a trine going on to Neptune as well. That's very romantic, idealistic kind of energy that we're feeling, but we have Scorpio. And so Scorpio takes it beyond that light, fluffy energy and takes us into the depths of that, and really has us looking deeply and intimately at our connections and what those connections mean to us. And this, we also have a sextile going on to Pluto. And so this, who is the ruler of Scorpio. So that just intensifies this energy even more. So we may be feeling a bit intense emotionally today, especially when it comes to our relationships and our understanding of those relationships. And what we're really looking at today, especially when we also have Venus in a sextile. Hold on. Sometimes I got to check. Okay, we're talking about the moon. And now we're talking about Venus. All right. I look this over right before I do the video. So sometimes I have to realign myself and make sure that I'm seeing it all correctly. Yes. And then we have Venus sextiling Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. And so it's very much about, we're getting very serious about this today. We're really looking at the lessons that we've learned around love. And this isn't just romantic love. All right. If we can trace back, Venus represents a lot of things. For some people, this has to do with money and wealth and finances as well. But when we look at love and we look at finances, two of the main things that Venus represents, what are those a reflection of? They're a reflection of our self-love. And so underneath all of this, we can strip it away, right? Use that power of Scorpio to really dig deep to the bones of the matter. And what it really means, what it really reflects, is our self-love. And so we're really paying attention to that today. What if we learned about self-love? How is that showing up in our relationships, in our finances? And how, if that is not showing up in a way that we like, how can we change that? What changes can we make to move more toward that? And with this, all this shadowy energy of Pluto and Scorpio going on, we are very much going to be able to figure that out today if we so choose. That's going to be shown to us, and that's going to be really helpful, especially the relationship aspect we want to pay attention to, because we do have Venus conjunct Juno during that solar eclipse. And so this energy is very, very prevalent. We are really looking at our relationships, and this is important because that's the energy that we spend our time around. The people who are important to us in our lives are intimate relationships. We spend a lot of time with these people. If we have an intimate sexual relationship with someone, we are quite literally taking on their energy to a level that we don't do with the other people in our lives. Like, our energy is meshing and melding, and we are taking on and combining with that energy. And so we really want to be cognizant of who we are sharing our bodies with, who we are sharing our spirits with, because all of that affects our ability to maintain our vibration. And it's just, we want to be cognizant of that. And so this is giving us a very deep look into that today, but we are also still feeling this deep desire to connect. But when we're going back to this square with Neptune and the action of the sun right now, we are at this time really being asked with the sun conjunct Mercury, it's like to go deep into our own minds, to plumb the depths of our own minds and see what we come up with today as well. So a lot going on, a lot of energies, a lot of stepping into our empowerment energies. We have Mars square Pluto, which is really calling us to step into our power and showing us anywhere where we may be hesitant to do that, anything that may be blocking that. We have, of course, that energy that's helping us to do this, as we have the sun in a trine to both Eris and Mars. So that is helping to facilitate this process. But that square to Pluto with Mars is really calling us to look at, if I'm having difficulty stepping into my power, what are the shadow aspects? What are the unconscious aspects that are causing that? And if these are questions that you're asking yourself, please reach out to me. I do personal readings. I do really powerful energy healings. I'm beginning to offer theta healing sessions as well. There's a ton of different ways that we can sort of examine and look into these energies. And I'm wanting to pull an Angels and Ancestors card, clear, to get us started here. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a morning so far. I haven't had a chance to really tap into the 12-12 energies, but I'm very excited to do so. I have some fun stuff coming up later today. It's a day of really intensive energetic work and self-work for me for the rest of the day today. I do want to let you guys know that I will be getting those zodiacs out. I know some of you guys are really waiting for your signs to come up. Remember, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising signs. Any that I have posted so far, check those out, and the rest will be coming. This has been a crazy whirlwind of a month for me, and I appreciate all of you guys for bearing with me. I appreciate you all for being here, and that's why we're fitting this reading in today, because it's important. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of your energy, and being able to connect with that on a daily basis is so absolutely beautiful. All right, so the first card out today, we have the Shield Maiden. Make plans and focus. And so this is that manifestation energy as we are moving toward the new moon, as we have this portal open. Yes, we are receiving, and I encourage you guys to check out the 12-12 portal video that I did. But we are receiving all of these downloads, all of these activations. There's a lot going on as far as that's concerned. We are also in that manifestation energy, moving toward the new moon. All of these events, they kind of blend together and are linked up. So we're really being asked, because our energy is so magnified during these portals, our thoughts and our intentions manifest very quickly. And so we really want to focus on what it is that we desire, what it is that we're wanting to create. This has come up in a few readings, right? We want to focus on the highest, best possible outcome when it comes to situations that are challenging us right now. We also want to really focus on, what is it that I desire? What am I wanting to create? Don't focus on what you don't want, because the universe doesn't hear don't, it doesn't hear not. And so what we focus our energy on is what we get. And so we want to stay focused on what it is that we're desiring. And we really want to make the plans necessary in order to move forward. And it's like she has a very strong warrior-like energy, right? You can see like the face paint and all of that. So like very much stepping in. And this is a female. So it's thinking me of stepping into stepping into our feminine warrior energy as well, really calling upon the shield maiden. This is, now I'm remembering my history lesson from watching the show Vikings. If you guys haven't seen that, it's a really cool show. They did a great job with that. The shield maidens are the feminine warriors. So stepping into our Eris energy today as well, really taking charge, really not taking no for an answer. If there is something that we truly desire and want that has meaning to us, that fulfills us deeply, then making the plans and taking the actions that we need to get there. This is about staying focused on your goals. That's the energy, utilizing that warrior energy to stay focused on your goals. Do not allow your focus to shift. And this isn't about like willing ourselves through a situation where the universe isn't supporting us. It's not about that kind of energy. It's about the energy of when we know what it is that we're meant to do, continuing to stay focused on that goal, continuing to move forward toward that goal, right? And this could be an outer event. This could be your own spiritual awakening, like continuing to stay focused on that, like keep your eyes on the prize kind of energy is what that is. And then we have the shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts. So I love that we are in this incredible transformational energy right now. And we are accessing our spiritual gifts on a deeper and deeper level. And so we're being asked to step into those. And in order for us to fully step into those, we have to be willing to transform. We have to be willing to shed our own skin, to release everything that is not us so that we can come more into alignment with what is us. And so just allowing this transformation to take place, allowing everything to move forward on its own divine timeline, but don't hide yourself. This is the energy of not hiding, right? We want to unveil our gifts. We want to use them. And as we use them, they grow stronger. And this is something that I learned that was really interesting is I would get really frustrated because I really wanted to access my intuitive gifts more. I wanted to utilize those more, but I wasn't doing anything. There was no practical application for them. And when I started on YouTube and I started working more with clients and there was that service aspect. I wanted to be of service. I wanted to be able to positively affect other people. And as I did that, and as I actually took the action, and there was more of a practical application for it, that started opening up more and more for me. And I look forward to that continuing to do so. It's still a progression. It's still a journey. And really still just the beginning of that journey. But it's that unveiling. It's having the courage to step out into the arena of our lives and to really showcase whatever it is, however it is that we are gifted, just really allowing ourselves to shine in that way. And that's going to continue to transform us, and that's going to continue to allow them to develop. So just utilize those, play with those, really step into the opening that creates. And then we also have the High Priestess, harness mystic power. So a lot of that, and there's a lot of Egyptian symbology on this card. I identify very heavily with Egyptian, with my Egyptian lives and that type of energy. So I love seeing those cards come out. But it's really utilizing that mystic power, like unveil your gifts, harness the mystic power that is available to you. And there is a lot of that power available to us today. So it's how do you choose to utilize that? How do you choose to tap into that? How do you choose to be curious about that? And to really know and understand that you do have this mystical power. It is available to you all the time. All it's requiring is that you step up to the next level of your evolution. You are prepared to do that. You're prepared to stay focused, to continue to put in the work, but to continue to allow yourself to transform at the pace that is appropriate for you. Everything happens at the pace that's appropriate for us. If everything happened all at once, we literally would not be able to handle it. Our minds would not be able to handle it. So it happens in stages. And so really embracing whatever stage you are at in that journey today, and really being open to the evolution of that, to the evolution of your consciousness, of your spiritual gifts, of that mystic power, and really tapping into that today. And then, of course, we have the eagle on the bottom of the deck, see from a higher perspective, which is always good. And I feel like I want to do one more card with this deck, maybe. Okay. And then we have the broken arrow. Embrace the energy of peace. So really stepping into that calmness, stepping into that peace. This is like when we're calling on our inner warrior, right? And our divine feminine warrior, which is a strong energy that I'm feeling right now. The divine feminine warrior fights, but she fights peacefully. She fights with love. She fights with compassion. She fights with peace. And yes, she does stand her ground, but we know how to do that while still invoking that energy of peace, that energy of unconditional love, and moving forward through that. Anywhere where we need to make peace in our lives today, we're being called and asked to make that peace, whether that's requiring forgiving someone, whether that's requiring having a conversation with someone, extending that I wanted to say the peace pipe, but I know that's kind of I'm not trying to be offensive or anything like that. But you know what I mean? Extending that hand, extending that energy to make peace. And this is also making peace with ourselves, forgiving ourselves, making peace with our past, just making peace with whatever it is that is still irking us, that is still tugging at us, that is still putting us in a state of dissatisfaction or dis-ease. Right? We want to clear that out. We want to make peace with that. We want to make peace with everything that we're releasing to make room for all of the magic that is coming into our lives as well. Make peace with regret. I'm feeling regret coming up for a lot of people. So like releasing that regret and knowing that we are always exactly where we are meant to be. And we learn from our mistakes. We learn from our challenges. And those are what help us to grow. So just understanding that and really taking that into consideration today and not being too hard on ourselves. Don't worry so much about where you've been, right? Understand and internalize the lessons, take the wisdom from those experiences, but pay attention to where you are right now. I was going to say to where you're going, but really to where you are right now, because this is the only moment that truly exists. And then on the bottom, we have Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. So much about unlocking our magic today. And look at those beautiful, magnificent wings that she has. Unlocking our magic, we've got two beautiful sets of wings going on here. So really allow yourselves to fly, allow yourselves to dream. Really just step into that magic, suspend that conscious mind a little bit, which is going to be difficult with that Mercury conjunct Sun, because that's a lot of mental energy. But really suspend that or harness that energy and utilize it in meditation, utilize it to go deeper within and really unlock what's within. I'm getting this visual of like the heart center and sort of like this key, this lock that's sitting deep inside of our hearts. And so it's like today we may be given the key to unlock that, and that's where our magic lies. So really like through the expressions of the heart, and today is a heart chakra day, so that makes a lot of sense. Through the expressions of the heart, through this energy of peace and compassion that we're being asked to call on, we can unlock the magic within ourselves. But we have to have trust. We have to have faith. We cannot have fear. If we are fearful, that lock's not going to turn. And then the Mirror Guardian under that, take time to reflect. And this is perfect energy, right? Because this is that we have the white mirror energy today. So really pay attention to what the reflections are showing you today. What is being reflected back to you in your reality? And what is that teaching you about the perception that you still hold, the beliefs that you still hold? And like I said, if you guys want to work on this, please reach out to me. My email is in the description box below. And then we also have the High Priest, Intend and Create. So we have the High Priestess and the High Priest coming out here, which is beautiful energy. This is the unification, right, of our masculine and our feminine, High Priest and Priestess, really moving into that energy, which is really, truly beautiful, unifying those aspects within ourselves. And so the High Priestess harnesses the mystic power, right? And then the High Priest uses that mystic power to create. Those are those two aspects of ourselves that we're being asked to call on. And I love, we have the hawk or the falcon, and we have the cat, which is really interesting. So that's super cool. That's super cool. And choose your path, Direction Guardian. we are being given an opportunity to do that. And yes, we can always shift timelines. We live in a quantum universe. But as we move through this 1212 portal toward this 1221 portal, within this gateway of energy, it's all a gateway of energy, right? We choose dates, but it's not like there's an end and a beginning. We are within these energies now. We are choosing our path. We are choosing our timeline, and we can always choose another one. But if we utilize these huge bursts of energy to choose, we can be propelled much further in that trajectory than we would normally. And there are restrictions to timelines only because we live in a 3D universe that is still operating linearly through the mass consciousness, right? And so those timeline shifts can take a little bit of time. Everything has to come into alignment. We shift and we shift. But when we enter energies like this, it's like we shift and we shift. And so really pay attention to that. And you are choosing that direction. You are choosing that timeline, that path, with your thoughts, with your actions, with your words, with your beliefs, and above all else, with your vibration. And that's why taking it back into the heart, right? The key to that is that moving more deeply into that heart center. What is the truth within our hearts? And that's really an energy that's being amplified today, is the truth within our hearts. And so I'm thinking, yeah, I want to pull a Moon Eye Key or a Mystical Shaman Oracle. Clear. And then I think I want to pull a Secret Language of Light card. But I want to see what might come up for this. I'm feeling these more shamanic, ancestral and shamanic decks today, which is interesting. So there could be some ancestral energy going on that we're working through and working with today as well. And it makes sense if we're working at a DNA level, receiving these DNA activations, because we hold the DNA of our ancestors, right? And so this is interesting. We have the serpent. So this is about the Kundalini energy activating. This is about our sexual power. So we talked about that a little bit, really stepping into that and understanding that and how to work with that. This is also about rebirth, right? The snake sheds its skin and learning how to be vulnerable and walk in our new skin. So that energy, like that's that transformational energy, right? When we learn how to move in our new skin, and it might feel uncomfortable, but just go with that and flow with that, because that is where your deeper power lies in this transformational process. As we shed more layers, more skins that are not ours, so that we can get to the true skin within. Right? And then the holy mountain. So this is like a holy pilgrimage. I'm feeling like we're reaching the pinnacle. We're moving closer and closer to the pinnacle of that mountain, and that is the pinnacle of these energies. It's like a holy spiritual quest that we're on right now. And the child. So there's healing around our inner child going on. This is also the energy of stepping into the energy of the child. That holding that wonder, holding that awe. It's like that mystical energy, right? With the holy mountain, with the child. It's like really exploring our inner terrain, exploring what exists within ourselves, climbing our inner mountain is the energy that I'm feeling, and really being open to that energy and how that, and the experience of that, being open to the experience of our own energy. And like our true energy feels familiar, but it also feels foreign because we have not been acquainted with it in this lifetime. So really coming into a deeper acquaintance with ourselves in this lifetime and just allowing that journey to take place. And I want to look at the holy mountain in here. Here we go. The holy mountain invites you to go on a sacred pilgrimage to acquire vision and perspective. First, you must accept the present situation as an opportunity to discover higher understanding. Find a sacred altar where others who came before you have prayed and found wisdom. That would be your ancestors, right? And make your offering there. Make a commitment to walk with courage, love, and compassion until you see with clarity the perfection of all. Yeah, I really like that. There's a lot of ancestral energy coming through as well. So allow your ancestors to support you in this process today. And then I love this. I want to read this too. It says, the child knows the way to joy and happiness. The child offers the return of a second innocence, a time born of wisdom and not of naivety. This card allows you to correct your course and offers you a second chance. It brings you the possibility of redemption and entering heaven while on earth. The child is here to release you from the habit of being yourself and to help you acquire a beginner's mind so you can see life as if for the first time. Remain open to learning and discovery. Who is your spouse or partner today? Can you see them with fresh eyes? Who is looking back at you in the mirror this morning? Become a mystery unto yourself and reconnect with a sense of childlike wonder, which is absolutely perfect considering everything else that we've talked about during this reading. And now we're going to pull a Secret Language of Light card. Clear. To close here and see what we can get from the Secret Language of Light deck. So yeah, that inner pilgrimage energy coming in really strong. Allow yourself to be a stranger to yourself. And then watch as you begin to recognize that stranger and you realize that that stranger isn't a stranger at all. Right? That's the challenge today. All right. What guidance do we have from the Secret Language of Light deck? We have wellness. We have nothing has gone wrong. All right. And then we have soul love and soul song. I love it. And so this is taking care of our wellness. What can you do today to facilitate your wellness? Meditation is going to be huge today. That's going to really help us tap into these energies. This is all of the ways that we can support ourselves in our journey to wellness. And this is like the mind and the heart energy unifying. I don't know if you guys can see that with the way that my light is, but he's holding a sword and it's piercing the heart. So really allowing ourselves to open our hearts today, to open our hearts and to allow that logic to blend with that heart intuition and to the logic, our heart to be our guide, and then to utilize that. We talk about all the time how the mind energy, right? The mind is meant to be a servant of the heart and not the other way around. So really accessing and stepping into that energy and that unification of the mind, the heart, the spirit, and the interconnectedness and the sacredness of all things, and really honoring that today. And honoring ourselves, honoring our physical bodies, honoring our soul selves, honoring all aspects of the self today and all aspects of others. And know that nothing has gone wrong. Everything worked out perfectly to get you right to where you are today. And this taps into that energy of regret that we were feeling, right? Don't regret anything. Give yourself forgiveness. Understand that everything was meant to be a part of your path. And that everything is unfolding exactly the way that it was meant to. So just really learning how to trust in that today. And then this is our soul song. Our soul song. That is our true vibration, right? Our soul song, our true vibration. As we strip away these layers that we are not, brings us deeper and deeper into who and what we truly are. And we transmit that through our vibration out into the world. And our soul song attracts soul love. In all manifestations, in all forms, right? It attracts our soulmates. It attracts the people to us that are meant to be in our lives. And it's also this energy of falling in love with our own soul. And as we fall in love with our own soul, we also attract in like souls of like vibration, right? But that starts with the falling in love with our own soul, which goes back to that self-love piece and how that's really a key focus for us today. And I love this energy. If you look at it, it's like this is the human self, right? This is the soul self, and this is divine source up here, and the way that we're connecting with all of those different energies today, which is really cool. Connecting and bridging those energies today. So, yeah. And then the hummingbird on the bottom of the deck here is all about joy. All about joy, bringing in more of that joy, more of that lightheartedness. The hummingbird also, like those wings beat so very, very fast, right? The hummingbird is always working, right? That focus that we talked about in the beginning, that clarity and focus of intent. However, the hummingbird is also joyful in its work. The hummingbird like just has that sense of lightness, that lightheartedness, even though it's like it enjoys its work. It enjoys tasting the nectar, right? Even with those wings beating so fast, it takes that time to enjoy the sweetness of the nectar of life. So really enjoy the sweetness of the nectar of your life today. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. Check out that 12/12 portal video, like I said, for more of the esoteric side of things. And I will see you guys again soon. If you like this video, there are links down below to donate to my channel. Like I said, my email's down below. Please reach out to me if you would like some assistance moving through anything that you're moving through today or in the days and weeks that follow. I would absolutely love to be there to support you with that. Drop a comment. Let me know how today's resonating for you guys. I love, 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 and appreciate you so very, very much. Happy 12/12 portal.